Hey everybody, it's PDubs. Thanks as always for hanging out upstairs with us and for checking out the channel. You are tuning in to Multicade Mondays, that's right. And I gotta tell you, you see right here, I got a big smile on my face. And why is that? We have some great stuff coming up for you guys on this channel. I wish I could hit the publish button. I wish I could hit the go live button and just do it all right away. But throughout the month of July, it's going to feel like the gifts that keep on giving. That's right. It's going to be Christmas in July. Santa Dubs is going to be delivering all kinds of mind-blowing content for you to consume this month. I can't wait, guys. I'm so pumped, and it's good to be back. Took a few weeks off Multicade Mondays. Only was able to do like one episode of Super Game Room Dudes the last couple of weeks, so it feels good to be in front of the camera, hanging out with all of you guys, talking about arcades and retro gaming. Now, tonight's episode is not going to be as cool as episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks, which we're going to talk about. We do have some very interesting topics, as well as a few teasers that are going to probably blow your socks off. And if you want to catch all that stuff, you're just going to have to sit here for the next 1 hour and hopefully 18 minutes at the very most and consume this content and all that kinds of stuff. So it's good to see you guys. Welcome to the chat. You know what they say? I didn't make up these terms. They've called me the mayor. They've called me the walrus. Now they call me the leader. And you know what? I kind of like that one. Hell, we're going to make t-shirts and everything. A whole new branding campaign. That's right. You can't blame me. I didn't coin the phrase. You did. So guess what, guys? Welcome to the leader in home arcade entertainment, 4 years and running. All right, guys, we are back. So let's talk about it. So tonight, we're going to give you an update on the Polycade. We got some good news, bad news. We're going to blow your mind when we talk about AtGames. We're going to talk about AtGames for maybe 5 minutes, but it's going to be the best 5 minutes of your life. We're also going to talk about Unico Nova Blast. We're going to give a shout out to an up-and-coming content creator who got his hands on one of these units a little bit early. He put some footage out there. I just wanted to react to that a little bit. But we're also going to talk about something very interesting when it comes to the retro shooter. There's some really interesting things happening with the retro shooter Pandora box, and it makes me wonder, is there something more going on behind the scenes? Is there something that we don't know about really happening behind the scenes? Because you know what they say, when there's smoke, there's fire. And in their case, there was a legitimate fire, but there's other smoke over here, which makes you wonder what's happening with the retro shooter. So we're going to talk about those topics. We're also going to talk a bit about Zoltar. A lot of people have been receiving their Zoltar pre-orders, and I'm going to pull up something here for you guys to take a look at. And I put a poll in the live chat. If you guys could do me a favor, answer that poll and answer it honestly. Honest feedback is what we want to have. Did you receive your Zoltar? I said yes, no issues. Yes, major issues. Some people I saw, they posted on New Wave Toys, like the Zoltar character had snapped off because, you know, probably got drop kicked during shipping. Yes, minor issues, some dust and scratches, which, you know, I had that myself. If you guys caught my Zoltar product review, or you don't have one yet, or you're waiting to order one, definitely answer that honestly. I'd love to see that feedback. And let's get that in quickly so I can get rid of that poll and we can move on to the next couple of topics. So I'm very excited that next week, I'm sorry, not next week, tomorrow, let's talk about it. So tomorrow, hopefully you guys come back to the channel. I know we're doing Multicade Mondays tonight, but tomorrow we got a big show planned. We have Zoltar. We have whoa, that's the wrong video. Tomorrow we got a big show planned. We got that's here it is right here. We got New Wave Toys. We got Shiloh coming on tomorrow night. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. That way you can participate in the live chat. I'll tell you why in just 1 second. We got Shiloh, the head of New Wave Toys, coming on the channel. And not only do we have Shiloh coming on tomorrow, but we also have Olaf. And Olaf is the CEO of Characters Unlimited, the company behind Zoltar. We're going to talk about and learn about the history of these animatronic machines that showed up in your arcades, all supplied by Characters Unlimited. Zoltar's just one of many, yet probably their most popular character. I'm super excited to have him on because if there's one thing I personally love, guys, is I love hearing the history of things. I don't know about you guys. It's really cool to talk about these products, but it's really cool whenever I try to get these companies on. I want to hear the story. You always hear me start those shows. Guys, I want to paint a picture. I want to tell a story. Tell me about what made you do with Zoltar, how the design process, like how did, tell me the story. What happened? When did it become a hit? We'll talk about the movie Big, its influence on the movie Big, stuff like that. So Olaf is coming on. Hopefully he'll entertain us with a bunch of really cool stories tomorrow. And also, we're going to be giving away a bunch of Zoltar machines during the show. So you have to make sure you're a subscriber. That way you can talk in the chat. Make sure you subscribe now if you haven't done so already. That way you can participate. We use, as you guys know, we use that random comment picker in the chat. I give you a code word, you type it in, and the computer will automatically pick somebody from the live chat. And if you haven't ordered a Zoltar yet, you might be able to get your hands on one for free. We're going to be giving away a bunch of them during the show. I'll have the exact number for you guys tomorrow. So that should be a lot of fun, don't you think, guys? All right, let's take a peek here. So now also, too, to my knowledge, this week, maybe tomorrow, if not a couple days later, is when they're going to put Zoltar up for order for people who missed out on the pre-orders. So that's kind of like why we're timing this stream this way. It is a sponsored broadcast. So big shout out to Characters Unlimited as well as New Wave Toys for sponsoring the episode. I try to make those as valuable as I can for you guys. I push for giveaways. I push for good guests, good content, good conversation. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Let's go ahead and let's just end our poll because I really got a lot of topics I want to do, and I don't want this poll sitting here the whole time. So did you receive your Zoltar? Yes, no issues, 14%. Only 2% said they had major issues. 10% said they had minor issues like dust or scratches. 75% of respondents out of 60-some people said not yet or waiting to order. So you guys might be able to get it. That actually kind of falls in line with a poll that they put up on their New Wave Toys page. So shout out to community member Jim Chen. So Jim Chen here, he happens to be in the official Global Replicade Facebook page, right? And there's been a lot of people, and as you guys know, I mean, we've all been in this hobby a long time, right? And what typically happens? Those with issues tend to speak the loudest, right? They tend to scream from the rooftops, go into forums, voice their complaints. Like, for instance, I'm one of them. If I have an issue with something, I let everybody know. I make YouTube videos about it, or I'll talk about it in Facebook groups, stuff like that. Issues I've had with like AtGames and things like that, right? Like, you know, we all talk. Like, if you're upset, you voice your concern. You just want to be heard, right? And then, but let's also not forget on the other side of the coin, there's a lot of people out there who they get their stuff and, you know, it works. There's no issues and they move on with their lives, right? So, you know, sometimes that becomes the silent majority. There were a lot of people saying that their Zoltars arrived. I saw people like someone would post, I got my Zoltar and I had a scratch in the plexiglass. And then all of a sudden, so many people would jump on that thread. They would jump on that thread and say, hey, this company's going downhill. It's over. That, you know, this kind of plays into the whole, this is it over part of the show, right? Is it over? People be like, it's over. New Wave Toys is going out of business. Their quality control stinks, stuff like that. So Jim Chen, one of the, just a normal guy in the Facebook group, he put a poll up a day ago, and in 24 hours, it got, whatchamacallit, it got over 117 respondents. And as you can see, out of 117 votes, many people are receiving their Zoltars and they're in good shape. There are some people who the accessories bag was missing, and then minor cosmetic issues, which is what I had, you know, where you had like, I had the tassels were not aligned and I had some dust in mine. Major issues, very small stuff like that. So that's good to see, in my opinion, that, you know, and what's funny too is I love Facebook groups. Facebook groups in this home arcade community, all of you guys turn on each other on a dime. Am I wrong? Like, you guys just jump and turn on each other. So someone would post and say like, I got my Zoltar, but I'm missing my accessories. Then there'd be like 24 guys commenting that New Wave Toys is the worst company in the world, right? This guy posts this poll, and then there's people in the comments on the poll. I don't know if you guys saw it. They're like, well, I guess that puts an end to the sky is falling. I guess everything's okay. Y'all need to calm down. Like, just see them go back and forth and back and forth. Are we children? Ladies and gentlemen, are we just a bunch of children upset about our toys? I just found that very entertaining. I wanted to share with you. So, yes, there are some units that have issues, and that sucks, man. That sucks. But it's the same thing with Arcade 1-Up. I have purchased, 30 Arcade 1-Ups. You guys have seen my reviews. And out of 30 Arcade 1-Ups, I've probably received, about 25 that were in perfect condition. No issues, right? And then I had like 5 of them that had an issue, like a broken side panel or a dent or a scratch or something got cracked in shipping. Like, shit happens, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Michael B, the Game Genie, is here. He's got a big show coming on right when I end. You guys are going to head over there. He's going to be talking with RGT85. I want to see the debate between them two. RGT85 says Arcade 1-Up is dead. Michael B, the Game Genie, says Arcade 1-Up lives. I can't wait to see that debate a little bit later on tonight. Officially Unofficial agrees that we are a bunch of babies. Midlife Arcade. Every company in the home arcade space is the worst thing ever, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Social media trolls. Facebook is worse than road ragers. Facebook groups are the Waffle House of the internet. Can you order extra tickets with the Zoltar? Yes, to my understanding, when the units go up for order again, for anyone who missed out on the pre-order, they're also going to have a separate listing where you can just order extra rolls. How much those are going to be? Is there going to be a limit? None of that. Is it going to go up for orders same day? I don't have all the exact answers for you guys. We might find out tomorrow before we even go live. If not, we'll ask Shiloh. Like, when we go live, we'll be like, hey, man, how much is it going to be? All that stuff. Hopefully we can get those answers. Should I sell my Casino-Cade to get ahead of uncertain future of Arcade 1-Up? The problem with the Casino-Cades is those Casino-Cades retail for what, $500-600? And now some stores are already marking them down to $300. I think like Nebraska Furniture Mart has already started to clearance those out at $299. So if you want to sell yours secondhand and get the most money possible for it, you might want to put it up for sale now, is all I can say, because you might be able to squeeze $300-400 out of someone and be able to say, hey man, at least you're not paying $500-600, the normal price. But those things are gonna, probably start getting clearanced out. And if people can buy it new cheaper, why would they buy yours more expensive used? There you go. All right, guys, let's see who's here in the live chat real quick. We got Chill Chamber, we got Ray, we got Carl, we got Ritual Dello. All my favorite moderators are here. Ray De La Torre. What time tomorrow? So tomorrow at 5, same time as this show. So 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we're doing the show. James hates everything, loves to hear inside stories. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. Like, I love Shiloh. And I was talking with Big ED. I do have an announcement to make. Big ED is going to come on. I told him, I said, when I host these shows and I interview these companies, there's also other stuff I need to do. I need to pull up assets, pull up pictures, pull up videos, coordinate everything. I have to pull up people's chats. I have to make sure that if the show is dragging, we stay on topic. I said, so it always helps me personally to have like someone co-host this stuff with me. So I invited Big ED. Big ED is going to come on. And so Big ED is going to help us out. So big shout out to Big ED for helping us out. Because I don't think you guys realize how much stuff goes into putting on these big events for you guys. So there you go. How many Arcade 1-Up is dead videos are we going to... I mean, we've been making those videos for years, right? Like, we've been making those videos for years. But in reality, we might actually be true at this point. I mean, many of us, myself included, said 5-year fad, right? Like, I mean, I was saying that 3 years ago. I was saying it's a 5-year fad. And here we are, year 5, at least for me, right? 2019 to 2024. And it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good for them. We'll have to see what happens, right? Excuse me, guys. What's up? Jedi Pirate, Galaga Guy, Stephen Ramey, Galaga Guy again, Thumper Squid, Bill Woodruff is here as well. What's up, Bill? Welcome to the show. Yep, Biggie D's coming on. Biggie D and I had a little bit of YouTube beef, but you know what's so funny is there's a lot of YouTube beefs out there, or like basically it's just like people annoy each other. And like literally instead of like making YouTube videos about each other or like attacking each other and being dramatic high school girls about it, like I see all this stuff going on in the console gaming. I don't know how many console gaming channels, but like you see all these videos where these people are just trying to tear each other down, calling like Kotaku and stuff. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff that has nothing to do with me. You see all these videos where the content creators are just making videos trashing each other. And I'm like, you know, Biggie D and I had a 5-minute conversation behind the scenes. We hugged it out and we're cool again, man. So that's what it's all about, right? You just be an adult and squash the beef. Ain't that right, James? What's up, Jedi Pirate? What's up, Bo Notes Tecmo? Good to see you as well. All right, so there you go. So are you guys going to tune in tomorrow? If you're going to tune in tomorrow, do me a favor, give me a 1. If you're not going to tune in tomorrow, give me a 0. Again, my goal really for the show is to just tell the story of Zoltar and learn more about it. That's what interests me. I want to learn how they make these things, how it came to the movie Big, whatchamacallit, how Big influenced the company and how their success, you know, how the company has survived. I mean, think about it, guys. They're still, even today, making these animatronic machines for arcades today in amusement parks. And companies still buy them and put them in their parks. How has this thing lasted so long? You figured it'd be so outdated, like some company would come in and just put like an LCD screen of Zoltar, like in a glass case, and you would talk to a screen. Like you figure future, like modern technology would take it away from us, but the nostalgia's still there. People still want to hear their fortunes read. Glad to see all the ones in the live chat. And hopefully you're not just tuning in for the giveaways. We are going to give away a bunch of Zoltars tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. All right, so that's what's going on with Zoltar. Also, if you're looking for a review on Zoltar, whatchamacallit, make sure you check out my channel. I posted my review. When did I post my review? I think I posted it Saturday. Yeah, I posted it Saturday, and it's doing okay. Usually when I post a video for New Wave Toys, like, they really don't do well on my channel. Like, I might get 1,000 views on it because, you know, it's a smaller company. It's a niche product. Not a lot of people are super into spending money on these collectibles, but this video's already gotten over a couple thousand views in a day, and it's doing pretty well. This is some cheap crap for Zoltar you could buy on Amazon. And I wanted to point out, like, this is the best we had until this came along. That was the whole point of that scene, right? And now we have this. So hopefully it's a good review. One thing to note is right here, because I missed something when I was reading the instructions. So right here, I mentioned the black tab. So there's that black tab, and that black tab lets you manually adjust the tickets, right? Manually adjust the tickets. When I did this in the video, I used a flathead screwdriver, because it just fits right in that slot. And it's pretty easy to retract the tickets. But technically, if you're holding it with your left hand, pushing down on the black thing, if you're pushing down with your left hand, with your right hand, you could actually just slide the tickets in and out, just by pulling it or pushing them. You don't even need to use a flathead screwdriver, but that's the way I did it. I saw that in Cool Toys video, and sure enough, I wanted to just mention that. I'm like, yeah, I guess you could do it that way without using a flathead screwdriver, but there you go. I will say one thing, though. After about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 tickets, it feels like the tickets are a little out of alignment. As you can see right here, the ticket is out of alignment right there. If I was to try and pull and separate it. So it seems like whenever you line them up, you know, after like 5 or 6, it just kind of comes out of alignment. And I don't know why that is. But is it the end of the world? No, because you can just gently pull on the ticket and get it to where you need it to be. So for me, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Maybe we should ask Zoltar the fate of Arcade 1-Up. I wonder what he would say. He would probably give us a vague answer, and then he would ask us for more money, right? More money. There you go. So that's what's going on with Zoltar. We'll be right back here in just a second, and we're going to find out what the heck is going on with Polycade. All right, this will be a quick one for you guys. I don't expect us to have a super long show tonight. So Polycade Sente, as you guys know, I pre-ordered Polycade Sente. We covered this a week or two ago. We mentioned that these bad boys are actually shipping out to people. Well, technically not really. What they've done is the first 50 are already on boats on their way to the States, and they're going to be handed out to people. Reached out to Polycade to confirm whether or not I was one of the first 50. And wouldn't you know it, guys, I am not one of the first 50. So by the time I get my Polycade, it's probably going to be, August or something, which I guess is okay, because if I was supposed to get it, I'm going to be in Chicago that entire week anyway, for my nephew. My nephew's getting married. I have to go to his wedding. And I was worried about this thing being delivered and sitting outside my house, right? So whatchamacallit. So yeah, I'm not getting my Polycade anytime soon. But we do have some good news. On July 29th, which is 3 weeks from now, we actually have Tyler. Tyler's coming on from Polycade. Tyler's the founder of Polycade, son of the guy who started Atari. So Tyler's going to come on Multicade Mondays. We're going to do a special episode. We're going to interview him and take a look at these Polycade Sentes. And he should by then also have the real thing next to him, because they've been waiting for the units to come overseas and get through customs. And we should be able to show it off a little bit. And hopefully some of these swappable control panels, modular stuff. And I think that would be a great episode, because, hey, what do we focus on here primarily? Multicades, right? And don't worry, guys, we got some content coming up for the Quamba 2009, as well as some other Multicades that are out there coming to market very, very soon. We have so many cool things lined up. So hopefully you guys will come back for the Polycade interview in just a couple of weeks. So that'll be really, really cool. That Polycade looks so nice. Buy stuff is more innovative than Arcade 1-Up. Let's see what James says. Arcade 1-Up is not dead. It's just dead to me. Unless they actually make something good, then I will be their bestie again. There you go. Decadent Dave is here. Decadent Dave, let me run the show. Why don't you just let me run the show, brother? No, I'm just kidding, man. You probably just got here. We haven't got to that yet, but we're going to be getting to that very, very soon. I know not a lot of you guys are interested in the Polycade. Admitted in the live chat. You guys are like, what? Polycade, what? I'm interested in it, and I want to check it out. So I'm excited about it. So there you go. All right. What else we got on the docket here? We're kind of flying through things. Maybe I should slow down and take a breath. AtGames should try making cabs. Well, they are. They're going to make... You know, they got a whole new batch of Legends HD machines that are coming into the States for Sam's Club. As you guys know, the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade machines are pretty much seasonal items. So they come in usually this time of year. So I was actually expecting them to announce that at some point, even though I'm not part of their media list anymore. I was like, yeah, any minute now they should be announcing that they got, 1,000. It's probably not a huge number coming over to sell at Sam's Club, stuff like that. So you'll be able to get your hands on that. But then again, too, they're supposed to be announcing the AtGames Legends Ultimate 4K, with the VIBS board included and a 4K screen. So I don't know if you'd want to rush off and buy the HD one that comes in, but then again, it's probably going to be a much cheaper price than the 4K. So all that stuff. Yeah, Polycade is expensive. Well, I mean, it wasn't too horrible with the Kickstarter, but now that the Kickstarter's over, it's a harder price tag. It's a harder price tag. Was waiting for the Killer Instinct. Are you talking about the Killer Instinct AtGames Legends Ultimate thing? The 4K machine? Yeah, that's supposed to be coming too, but we haven't really gotten a good update about them. You guys are still talking about Arcade What Up in the live chat. Holy smokes. What's going on with Arcade What Up? Oh yeah. It's like, yeah, how many of you guys remember when Doomsday killed Superman? We were all probably, what year was that, guys? Was that like 93? When they did Funeral for a Friend? Was that when Doomsday killed Superman? And then after that, it was like Funeral for a Friend. I don't know if you guys ever collected DC Comics. I did. So I have I still have all those books. The Death of Superman, the whole Funeral for a Friend, the Reign of the Superman storyline. I still have all those comic books. It kind of feels like we're at that moment with Arcade What Up, right? Like Doomsday's about to stab him in the chest, and Arcade What Up is over. There you go. No, they did that. They did that for Superman, bro. They did that for Superman. Let me show you. Let me grab it. So they did a whole bunch of these where, the Adventures of Superman, Superman, the Man of Steel. You know how they had multiple comic books every month? They did a big crossover, Funeral for a Friend, right here, buddy. And so it would go like The Adventures of Superman, then you'd have to go pick up an issue of Superman, then you'd have to go pick up an issue of Superman, the Man of Steel for the next part of the Funeral for a Friend storyline. After they got through the funeral storyline, excuse me, they did the Reign of the Supermen, where you had 4 guys show up claiming to be Superman, and you're like, well, which one's the real Superman? You guys don't remember that? I guess you guys don't remember that. Yes, nobody ever really dies when it comes to comic books. They always find a way to come back. There you go. All right, let's get off Superman here. All right, let's talk about Retro Shooter. So something very interesting happened with Retro Shooter back on January 20th. And this is what concerns me about Retro Shooter, right? So let's pull this up for you guys. And this is kind of unfortunate. Now, first off, I want to say our condolences to Retro Shooter for the fire in your warehouse. We're happy to hear that like nobody got injured or killed or things like that. So we definitely want to express that. That's more important than, video games. Nobody got injured, and that's great. But they had a big electrical fire. They announced this on June 20th. And they lost some inventory. Everyone's okay, but they've stopped shipping items while they get things repaired, blah, blah, blah. Please be patient while we fix the issues and get back to our regular pace. Thank you. Now, I don't know how many of you have pre-ordered these Retro Shooter MX-20 machine guns or the consoles. I have both. It was funny how they said their products didn't cause it. Is my retro gun going to catch fire? No, it wasn't the products. It was an electrical fire in the warehouse. Not caused by their products, right? So that just sucks, right? Because that can really just hurt a company, even though you have commercial insurance that'll cover all this, right? And, they'll, reimburse you to get everything repaired and back up and running. It kind of stinks. It stinks for them because they've fallen behind. So you're like, okay, there's an electrical fire, all right? But then what did I tell you guys when we kicked off the show? When there's smoke, there's fire, right? And that's what worries me, right? So we go to their website, and you'll notice on their website, it says, due to warehouse fire, shipping delayed 15 to 25 days. You're like, okay, that makes sense. They're still cleaning up from their fire, right? And yeah, this would be their overseas warehouse, Charlie Chuck. Okay, so you're like, okay, that all makes sense. So if I'm interested in buying a Retro Shooter product, there's going to be a delay. But then they added something on their website, and they hid it at the very, very bottom of their website. So let's kind of look at this. So here's the guns you can buy. Here's the console. Here's the new 4-part sensors you can buy. They don't have the MX-20 machine gun listed on their homepage, but there's a different link to get to it, but they still sell it. Now, okay, what games will you play first, right? You're like, okay, wow. And keep in mind, if you guys have purchased the Retro Shooter console already, you guys know these games were included, right? Like they threw these games in here just the same way these Amazon boxes do, these Kin Hank boxes. You know what I mean? Like all that crap sold on Amazon with all these ROMs that they don't have licensing to, right? To me, I was like, look, Retro Shooter doesn't care. As long as other companies don't care. I mean, look at all the crap on Amazon you could buy preloaded with all these games, right? That they don't have licenses to, right? But look at this change now, guys. They say, what game will you play first? Right here, guys. Games not included. Games not included. That's right. According to their website, these Retro Shooter consoles, these consoles right here, will no longer come with games. They will no longer have the games. Now, what's interesting is they kind of had made an announcement. They were talking on their Facebook groups saying, hey, guys, for like firmware updates and stuff, we're going to like have new SD cards, which is where the games are stored. They're stored on an SD card. We're going to put the games on the SD cards, or we're going to put the firmware updates. We'll do a firmware update over the air, but the new games we promised you, because there's some of us who bought the first wave of Retro Shooter consoles that when the firmware updates came out, we didn't get the new games over the air. We would have to put the games on like an SD card and then transfer them over and all that shit, right? Like it's a pain in the ass, right? But they weren't going to do these games over, whatchamacallit? They weren't going to push the games out over air, probably for legal reasons. But here's what's interesting, guys, is now games are not going to be included at all. Now, here's what's interesting. They said games aren't included anymore. Then they had a warehouse fire, right? Okay, games not included anymore. Then they had a warehouse fire. Now, what stinks is nobody, since they're not shipping any product right now, we don't know that if you buy something today, when it ships, will they include that SD card with the games or not? So in my opinion is this, and I hate to do this to companies, but my responsibility is to you guys, my viewers. When it comes to the guns, the MX-24 is a super fun machine gun. And yeah, I haven't published a review for it, but I really like it. I mean, it's not the best light gun in the world. In fact, I think that the recoil effect on the handguns is a lot more fun than the recoil effect on the machine gun. Because it's kind of weak in my opinion, but it's there. But the gun looks cool and it's fun to hold. When it comes to buying the guns and buying the Firebase, that way you could plug the guns into a PC. And like, you know, there's all kinds of like techno parrot builds out there, guys. There's other builds you can find on websites that are compatible with the Retro Shooter guns. Maybe I'll make some videos for those builds so you guys can kind of find out where they are without me actually telling you where they are and getting myself in trouble. But what's interesting about all this is I think it's okay to still buy the guns from Retro Shooter. And I would still recommend the guns from Retro Shooter. I kind of like them. I do. I like the handgun and I like the machine gun. But when it comes to ordering the console, I would maybe hold off. I don't think you guys want to be the guinea pig. I think you guys would rather someone else buy one, receive it, and say, I got it. First batch since the warehouse fire. And guess what? No SD card, no games included. No games included. Now, yes, you can load games. You can load games, but keep in mind, why was this console so popular, guys? Why was this console so popular? When this thing came out, it was popular because it was preloaded. That's why it was popular. That's why a lot of YouTubers got a lot of views, and that helped them sell like a ton of these things. It's because the stuff was preloaded, right? The stuff was preloaded. There you go. So yeah, you can get the console, you can add your own games, but how many of you wanted to do that? Let me ask you something. All right, let me ask you this. Let's just say you're going to buy an Ambernick handheld off AliExpress. Some of the ones that are sold through AliExpress don't include the SD card with the games. And some of the sellers include the SD card with the games. you see two listings side by side. One just says, here's the handheld, no games included. Here's the handheld. It's got an SD card with 10,000 games on it. Which one are you going to buy? Be honest. Tell me in the live chat. I'll tell you which one I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy the one that's got the 10,000 games, even though I'm not going to play 9,900 of them, because that's how we are. All right, so I have some worries. There you go, Will. Boom. Some people don't want to fiddle around with transferring ROMs or doing all this stuff, right? There you go. So my advice, just my advice, is I wouldn't buy the console right now, because it looks like when the console ships, after they restore services from the fire they had in the warehouse, it's not going to include games. And unless you want to tinker with it, and unless you want to buy an SD card, I think there's some people out there buying them, which I'm not going to share any links. Don't share any links in the live chat to where you could buy ROMs. I mean, unless you're going to do that route, you know, maybe just plug it into a PC. Yeah, I know, it kind of stinks. All right, let's get this off the screen here. What are your guys' reaction to that? I didn't even look at the chat because I was trying to get all that out. Zero Sleep, I love you, man. I love you. I can't put that on the screen, though. Ray, the reason I bought the guns is to play games on the little console. There you go. My luck, maybe they have that on there just to cover their butts, you think? Yeah. But here's the thing, we don't know. Ever since the fire started, they haven't shipped products in weeks. So no one's received one since the website got updated, since they added games not included. So nobody knows. And some people were asking, there's a Retro Shooter Facebook group. Some people were asking like, hey, what's going on with the guns and the games? And Retro Shooter hasn't responded to any of those posts, guys. And you know me, I'm a skeptic. I mean, I maybe I got my tinfoil hat on. Maybe everything's fine. But I just want you guys to be aware. There's some information. Do with it what you will. Does that make sense? Do with it what you will. This might be comment of the day. Comment of the day right here. But I like the guns. You know, I've mostly been playing the guns on my modded Arcade 1-Up Terminator 2. Which, by the way, when you play light gun games on... So, for instance, I have the one Pandora's box connected to the 32-inch candy cab, the Chulix that I have out in my loft. 32-inch screen, right? If I play on that screen, turn the machine off, walk over and turn on the Terminator 2, do you have any idea how jarring that is to your eyes when all of a sudden the screen becomes a 17-inch square? You're like, oh my God, it's so small. I think I might actually end up doing the 19-inch monitor upgrade from Buy Stuff just to make that screen a little bit bigger, because I don't think I want to get rid of my T2. There's a few Arcade 1-Ups I plan on selling and getting rid of, because I got so much new stuff coming in. I got another pinball machine coming. I got Unico Nova Blast. I got the Polycade. I got the Buy Stuff Super Sprint. I'm still looking to see if I can find a couple real arcade machines that are on my list. Like, I got new stuff coming in. I got to get rid of some stuff. So I am going to sell some stuff to make room for it, but because I don't want to have stuff in 10 rooms again like I used to. That was horrible. Yeah, I mean, it could be fine. I'm just saying exercise patience. Let's see what happens if some people get their orders and if they say, yeah, we still got that SD card of games. If they say that, you might be okay. Unless you want to, you know, do that yourself. If you want to tinker and do that yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah, so for light guns, like I said, the guns are fine. You go ahead and buy the guns because the guns work on PC, and there's a lot of great PC builds out there that you can run, and the guns work great, and you'll have a great time. Hell, even like with TechnoParrot, there's a lot of modern shooters on there. Check out my boy Detroit Love, Carl's channel. Detroit Love's got some videos showing the retro shooter guns running off of TechnoParrot and playing modern games, not like old ass Operation Wolf. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Yeah, but I'm trying to keep things above this level here. Buy stuff. Yeah, but here's the funny thing. The Pandora's Box 10th anniversary. Keep in mind, Retro Shooter pushed out firmware updates to their console, which added the ability for you to do gun calibration on the fly, as well as do change the screen aspect ratios. Like when you hold down player one start, a settings menu would pop up. And if you did the firmware updates that Retro Shooter pushed out, you had those access to those options. They just pushed the firmwares out. So if you had a Retro Shooter console and you connected it to your Wi-Fi, every time you turned on your machine, it searches for an update and it would update automatically. They did a few updates. But the Pandora's Box 10th Anniversary Edition, the red box, that hasn't gotten those updates. And mine's connected to the Wi-Fi. And I've never once received those updates. So I can't change aspect ratios on the fly. I can't do gun calibration on the fly. I have to reset the console and hit the settings button on the console to get to it. It's a pain in the ass when the console's inside the candy cap. Does that make sense? So getting the red box isn't going to solve all the problems either. It's not going to be as good of an experience, at least in my opinion. Oh, no, I told everybody I put down a down payment. So, yeah, I'm definitely getting that super sprint. So, yeah, that should be fun. All right. That's what's going on with Retro Shooter. Let's see where we're at with stuff. We had Zoltar, Unico. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about Unico. Then we're going to drop an AtGames bombshell on you. And then we are going to head out for the day. And that way you guys can go watch Michael B and RGT85 have their debate. So here we go. So James Hates Everything. Pretty nice guy. I've talked to him a few times behind the scenes. He did a video today. Apparently the Unico Nova Blast was over at in Kansas somewhere. So he got to check it out, and let's go full screen here. I just wanted to react to what we're seeing here from good old James. Taking a look here at the machine. I guess this is the version that people are actually going to receive when they start shipping. Keep in mind, they've been like redesigning this thing over and over and over the last few months. They're constantly like, hey guys, here's the new bottom. Hey guys, here's the new back panel. Honest opinion, guys, if you think it's ugly, give me a 0. If you think it's actually kind of cool looking, give me a 1. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat. And you can feel free to disagree with me because I'm actually thinking this looks pretty cool. Like I think this would actually look pretty cool sitting next to my Vuelix that I have here in my house. But then again, because I have the Vuelix, I technically really don't need this, but we'll see. Look at all the look at it's a mixed bag in the live chat. Look at all the zeros and ones. Look at all the zeros and ones. It's like 50-50. Don't make me put a stupid poll up, guys. Just type it in the chat. There's good old James. Make sure you guys check out James's video. I don't know if one of the moderators can link his video in the live chat because James did all the hard work. But go check out James's video. He tested it out and he gave his thoughts. And from what I could tell, his thoughts were pretty positive about the machine and the experience overall. So that was pretty nice to see. So myself, I'm eager to actually get my hands on it and try it out. As you guys know, these monitors have had some feedback in the gaming community. And supposedly these are the newer versions. Oh, these have kids on it. I don't want to show any little kids. Supposedly these units might have the newer monitors where these issues have been resolved in regards to latency and colors and all that kinds of stuff. So looking forward to diving in a little bit much. I hate polls, dude. I really do. I hate polls. But that's why I primarily tell you guys just give me a 1, a 0, a 2, and all that stuff. So I think if you love candy cabs, this thing is a win. Yeah, like, you know what's really cool about it? What I do like about it is the fact that if you have stuff with a JAMA harness that's compatible with it, so some, you know, real arcade stuff, or you want to connect, I don't know, you want to connect a Mister to it, you want to, hell, if you want to connect an analog pocket to it, a little mini analog pocket, you know, there's so many different routes you can go to, you know, supply your own hardware and play games. So that's what I do like about it. I don't think it's that ugly. Like, I think it actually looks pretty cool now that we're seeing some of the good stuff. And right here, James is saying, go buy it. I'm a shill. James loves everything. Which, by the way, he needs to change his channel name. Am I right, chat? Because he hasn't whatchamacallit? He hasn't hated anything since his channel went up. I think his channel, I think the title of his channel is BS because his channel was called James Hates Everything. But he actually loves everything. I haven't heard him say anything is crap yet. But yeah, there you go. We'll see. Unico told me I'd be one of the, they're going to do some review units that are going to travel. So it's kind of like what they did. How many of you guys were in the community when the Unico MVSX, the red arcade machine right there, came out? You guys remember? They're a very small company, guys. I swear there's probably like, what, 10 people that work there? I could be wrong, but maybe 10 people or less. But they're a small company. So they weren't like sending out like free review units to people. So they had like one or two machines that just kind of traveled. Like each YouTuber would get it for a couple of days and then send it to the next guy or gal. So that's what they're going to do with this. They told me I'd be on the list for that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll check it out then. And we'll see what we think. I got a bunch of stuff here that will connect to it and test out. I got a bunch of JAMA boards and I got a bunch of those boards like, you know, I have the 60-in-1, which honestly isn't that great of a board. Stuff like that. So we got all kinds of stuff. It's not ugly. It's a candy cab. That's what they look like. Yeah, the MVSX was a doorknob, man. It was a doorknob. Oh my God. I still got like sinuses draining. Getting a cold in the summer is the worst, especially when it's 110 frickin' degrees out here in Arizona. There you go. Is Neo Severa here in the live chat? I thought I saw him. James shills everything. There you go. Yep, they're supposed to ship this month. We'll see. We'll see. What's so funny is I remember when January started and I was looking at the landscape of arcades, or what you call this home arcade. And I was like, in my opinion, like we knew back in, guys, we were making Arcade One Up is Dead videos back in January. I don't know why when someone else makes that video, it becomes like, oh my God, this is the first time we're hearing this news. Like a lot of us were back in January, myself included, were like, there ain't nothing coming out. It's over. But anyway, so like you guys remember I said it would be the year of the multicades, right? Well, here we are. It's freaking July, and these things haven't shipped yet. So once, like, the AtGames Legends Ultimate 4K comes out, the Unico Nova Blast, what's the other one? Polycade. Maybe then we can say it's the year of the multicades, but the year's going by quick, guys. It's July already. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Does Restalgia still have the one he didn't return? No, Restalgia, I think, ended up returning it. I don't think he kept one. I know one YouTuber. I'm not going to say his name, but what happened to his unit was very mysterious is all I can say. 2024 is the year of the disappointment. But has it been disappointing? Think about it this way, guys. A lot of companies haven't released a ton of stuff. So unless you've been allocating that money elsewhere, I would say a lot of people in this community saved a lot of money this year. Am I wrong? Like, wasn't it kind of nice that, you know, you didn't buy, let's say you're an Arcade 1-Up fan. You didn't buy 10 Arcade 1-Up SKUs this year? Like, wasn't that kind of nice? You had money to do extra stuff. So I think, like, having extra money to buy, the way I look at it, guys, and this isn't a shot at anybody or it's gloating or anything. What was nice about some of these companies not releasing as much stuff is I was able to take that money and invest it in some more premium stuff, right? And that's what that kind of makes me feel good about it. I'm still sad, like all of you, that we haven't gotten a ton of cool shit this year. Like, it's July, and the stuff that we do know that is real, not vaporware, actually being released, still hasn't shipped, and it's July. I mean, it sucks, guys. It sucks. Yep, good job on that video, James. Make sure you guys check out his channel. That way James doesn't try to copyright claim my video. There you go. I want new cabs. Look at Paul. I did not save any money. I spent 3 times as much building my own crap. All right. Are you guys ready for a little bit of fun with AtGames? All right. We'll do our AtGames bombshell, and then we will call it quits for the night. Quick episode. Don't forget that tomorrow night, we're going to be interviewing New Wave Toys, as well as Characters Unlimited, both CEO Shiloh from New Wave Toys, CEO Olaf from Characters Unlimited. The creators behind Zoltar are going to come on. We're going to give away a bunch of Zoltars, talk about the history of Zoltar, and talk about the New Wave Toys Zoltar product. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow for that, same time as this show, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be tomorrow. Then next week on Multicade Mondays, it's going to be the can't miss episode of the year. We are going to show something pretty awesome. And let me give you guys a little bit of a teaser here. So let me take off the background image. That way you guys can see this video a little bit better. Let's take that off. All right. I'm going to play a video here for you guys. And it is 1:20 long. Okay. It's 1:20 seconds long. Now watch this video. I'm going to come back and explain it and tell you what you just witnessed. Hang tight.
Just so you don't think I'm talking shit. This is stock. This is Space Cadet. Got playfield, DMD, backglass. That's your coin. A little hard to play. Got full SSF. There we go. There's like no lag.
All right, guys. So let's take a quick gander at what you just witnessed right here. Let's go ahead and go right here. I think, what do you guys see right there on the screen? What do you guys see built into the AtGames ecosystem? You guys are looking at VPX standalone. That's right, guys. How many of you have had to plug in a PC to your AtGames Legends Pinball 4K in order for you to play VPX pinball games? Well, if you guys come back and join me next week on Multicade Mondays, we're going to show you how the geniuses in the community now have VPX running on the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K using this. That's right. No PC required. Stock up on your thumb drives, guys. It's going to get really interesting around here really, really soon. Big shout out to the team behind it. We're going to have them on with us, and we're going to show you some examples of VPX running on the AtGames Legends Pinball, no PC required, and it's going to be a very easy process for all of you. Tutorial videos are already in the works by a certain guy named PDubs. Boom. Spread the word. Next week's going to be a can't miss episode. Guys, thanks as always for joining us on Multicade Mondays. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know tonight was more of a news show, but tomorrow interviews. Next week we are gonna break the internet on AtGames, and then the week after that we got Polycade coming on. Guys, we got a lot of great stuff lined up for you, as well as other videos mixed in between. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a huge favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out, leave me your show comment, feedbacks, reactions below after this video is over. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing. It's Monday. After Michael B and RGT85 duke it out on their show, do me a favor, before you go to bed tonight, go play your Multicades.